Hi. Hi, Denmark. Mambo? Okay, I'm trying. Najaribu kufanya video na network yangu ifanye kazi vizuri. From the laptop. Naona siko clear. Where's the quality? Is it poor ama ni laptop yangu ndio mbaya? Is the quality okay? Let me know. Okay, sawa. Sasa I'm trying to try kufanya live stream using StreamYard. Ndio nione kama naweza invite people to join the live stream as in tukuwe na one on one, but sijui kama naweza. Abu try kunini, try ku can you request to join live stream because I'm trying na sijui kama inaweza. I'm trying to see whether naweza have guests. Oh, okay, so I guess just a moment. So kuna link add. This is the first time I'm using StreamYard after a very, 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 very long time. So kuna link nimetuma nimepost kwa description. I don't know whether you can see it. Maana lazima nipe na link. Lazima testing na wewe. Aki siku hizi niko na tendency ya kuingia live stream. Kufanya live stream late. Oh my. Oh my. I have a lot that I'm supposed to do. Mpaka nashindwa kuingia kufanya videos na live stream. Have you seen it? Have you seen the link? Na feel kama equality iko sawa. Let me post the link here. Okay, I can't even post the link here for chat. I can't even chat. Okay, let me try. I'm not sure that is the link. Mike, are you still there? Yay. Nimefika 1.5k subscribers. Yeah. Sikuwa nimefikisha sana, nimerealize nimefikisha 1.5k subscribers. Abu try ku click your link tafadhali, nione kama itakubali. Please. My first time using this. Masifika. Inaonyesha 1.5 but kwa nini yangu naona bado mtu mmoja. Oh, I see. Add to live. Yay. Hi.
Ai, nimekusalimia.
Nimeona sasa imekubali. Thank you.
Niaje?
Poa sana. Una hang. Oh, okay.
Kweli?
Niko poa.
Eh,
Na try tu kujaribu. Med, hi. Naona umeingia. You can see we have Med in the house. We're trying to tunajaribu kufanya live stream na StreamYard. Na then Mike
hadi
was
mimi.
helping me. Dan Mike,
Ya,
ushaitumia nini? StreamYard before?
leo ndo siku ya kwanza. Leo ndo siku ya kwanza. Naonanga kwa Extendela sijaitumianga.
Oh. Niliona wasi wanatumia sana na nilikuwa sana ya kutumia.
Inakaa tu kwa fiti. Inakaa tu kwa poa.
Iko poa. Naona iko poa. At least msee anaweza engage na watu wengine kwa live stream.
Yeah.
Otherwise uko aje?
Mimi niko fiti.
Like
Nile tu yani saa kukaa hivi then nione vile naweza ku create content sasa nishafika ile kwa like nishafika 1000 sasa ni ile ku retain sawa ma subscribers sasa.
Content ninako bedhe na kuanga about nini? Bado sijapata time ya kuangalia. It's all about
like
uko na specific nini?
Hapana. Yani sina ile yenye nime specialize. Nafanya tu variety.
Myself doing live streams this late. Oh my. I think I need to give YouTube some good time. We're starting to have our hot weather and today is hot. Oh wow. That's interesting. I will have fun sitting out in the sun later. In Kenya it's a bit cold at the moment. But then when did you say you're gonna visit Kenya? I'm really looking forward to that day. That period when you live in Kenya. Oh, you're not sure? It's okay. This is Africa. But there, which country are you in, Bede? Where do you stay? In short. There are days when I usually feel like I really want to go to abroad. But then I'm never sure of how life will be. Will you advise someone from okay? Will you advise me to like move? Okay, to like move to USA, to America, to USA? Will you? Will you advise me to move ama nibaki Kenya? What do you think? I've always wanted to move to America, to USA, to abroad, to look for greener pastures. But on the other hand, I usually feel like Kenya, we have so much. Kenya has so much to offer. Africa is where it's at. Okay. But sometimes I really feel like, okay, I don't know this issue. It's the issue with corruption. I'm not so sure, but things to do, especially with education and everything. There's going to be. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's true. That's so true. But then there's more to just living in Africa. Like in terms of earning a living, standards of living, things like employment and everything, resources. Okay, people claim that you have resources in Kenya, in Africa, but it's kind of expensive to utilize your own resources at some point due to corruption. Pole pole. But I'm getting some insights from This is Africa. Nauliza mambo na living abroad, between living in Kenya and abroad, USA, which one is better? Na ananiambia,
Hello.
hi, are you still there? This is Africa. Labda anawochi live stream.
Yeah, mimi ndio nimekata.
Are you still there? Do you own land there? Okay, personally, yeah, no, I don't own land there.
Where?
Hello, bro, Kenya.
Oh, hello. This is Africa.
So, for example, for me to own land, I have to buy it. I don't have like land from my parents' inheritance or anything. So I have to buy, of which it's sort of expensive. I just cleared school some few months ago.
Yeah.
Right? So of course I can't afford to buy land at the moment, and I don't have like my parents didn't have like land. You get? So I don't have land at the moment.
So basically when you say you don't have land, so what about your brothers?
My brothers, of course, they don't have land. Okay, they don't have land.
But they need to inherit something, right?
Yeah, but don't inherit like a big piece of land. They're just like a small one. A small one.
When I tell like this, so
It's versa.
Yeah. I can see two people.
Ooh.
What skills do you have right now?
Okay, at the moment, I studied BCom, Bachelor's of Commerce, Marketing Option. But okay, I don't have like skills. Okay, what kind of skills do you have? Maybe marketing, although
she's good at PR and communication skills.
Yeah, and maybe
communication skills, but then she's so good at that.
And I'm also learning programming skills, coding.
Yeah.
That is what I'm learning at the moment.
Add a little bit
Yeah.
of DJing, how to jiggle a little bit
Surely.
with the deck, a little bit, not so much. Yeah.
But for him, he's a DJ.
Mhm.
What else?
I am a DJ.
A right.
Not really, but I'm good at writing. I can write articles, poems, anything to do with the writing, I can do it. Yeah, but from that, what else can I do?
My Peters, take those skills now in PR and check both English and Swahili. Okay, yeah, I can take those skills, but how am I going to meet them at the moment? How am I going to convert them into my source of income?
Into education, because I think that is what This is Africa is meaning, that take those skills now in PR, public relations, and teach both English and Swahili.
Oh, and teach both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to go to the classroom. Has
Personally,
that
I don't
ever
want-
been
no.
your desire? Mhm.
One moment.
No problem.
Oh, imerudi, babe, come. This is Africa. Okay, I hope you're still there. I really hope you're still there. I can see you telling me, are you still there? Let me know if you're still there, please. If you're still there, sorry for the one moment. There's an app you can teach languages online. Oh, really? Okay, let me see. There's a Kenyan. She tells you how to make money on your phone teaching languages. I'm getting the title of her video right now.
Where there's money, I come in.
How I made my first. Oh, $500 on iTalk. iTalki teacher teaching. Interesting.
Where's the phone?
So that's the title of the. Let me see. Let me check. How?
Oh, iTalki.
I've seen it. I've seen it. I see it. Interesting. Okay, I guess I'm getting distracted. But I guess I'm gonna do some more research on it. I guess I'm gonna.
We'll have to try this, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna look at it later. Because it seems to be a good a good job. No.
It's a good job, though.
Because in Kenya, well, with this unemployment cases, it's really messed up.
So this Africa is in the US, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Did you get to the US via green card or invitation or what happened, by the way? Just asking.
I guess he's an American. He's American. But the wife is Kenyan. Okay. The wife, I'm good to. The wife is Kenyan, I guess. Mzungu, yeah.
Wow. It's nice to hear. We've been thinking of either joining our livelihoods to the US, but applying for the green card has been an issue, by the way. It is always an issue in Kenya because of issues to do with corruption and all that.
Yeah, and sometimes we always feel like we always like never sure of whether to move to US.
Yeah.
Ama just stay in
because
Kenya.
at the end of the day, we're looking at the value of our currency while in Kenya and in the US. And we are like, you know what if we work hard and get the same amount that we intend to get in the US while working there? Because in Kenya, it will be more, right?
True.
Because our lifestyles are not as hard.
Yeah, our
standards of living are not that high, a bit low. So it will be a plus for us if we stay in Kenya. But again, when you watch videos of people living in the US and you're like, wow, okay, I think I need to try this. All that. Yeah, but
we're a bit confused.
Not yet decided. But one day, one time, maybe. You never know. Life has got its own ways of solving things and all that. Yeah.
But everybody have their own opinion, right?
Yeah.
There are those who think has their own opinion. There are those who think like Kenya power, and others think like
in the US it's where there are more opportunities. But for me, okay, for me personally, I've always yearned for a day maybe that I'll visit the UAs, just at least just that lifestyle and all that. But right now, with what I'm doing, with what we are doing,
I think we're okay, yeah.
I think we are growing also.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe one day, one time we'll be there, and maybe we'll decide to go visiting the UAs rather than staying there. Yeah, just like tourists.
That same lady has found other ways to make money online. I'm gonna have a look at her videos and get more insights.
Social media has made people make ends meet, right?
Yeah.
In so many ways.
But what I've noticed in Kenya, the best way to survive, it's maybe working online.
But so many people think it's a scam.
Yeah.
You know, living in African countries, people think that anything that is done online is a scam. So it's hard to convince an African, you know what, I'm working online.
And you can earn a living working online.
But it's so funny if you're making, you find people are making money through that same thing that you are saying, this thing is a scam.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to convince people. That's the hardest thing.
With this unemployment rate, I guess working online is the only option. And mind you, I've come to realize that working online pays more than getting employed.
Because working online means working with people from other countries, and that is a plus, especially in a country where the living standards and the economy is low, or is standardized as compared to the first world countries. So you find that if someone decides to pay you for your for the services, let's say for example you decide to pay me in dollars, if I change that to Kenyan shillings, that is a good amount of money. Yeah, that's why it's a plus for so many people. But those who are living in Kenya and they're employed in Kenya, it becomes difficult for them because in terms of taxes, especially taxes, people incur a lot of taxes. Like the government is not easy on people that are employed in corporates, institutions and all that, especially government institutions. It's frustrating sometimes because you find maybe you are earning around, let me say, for example, a good amount is $500. You find that if they decide to deduct those little taxes, you find that you get maybe 30,000, that $300 and all that. So that's a good amount anyway.
Yeah, sure, true.
Yeah, keep learning programming. You have to push yourself to the limit.
I'll push myself to the limit because tech world is sweet, I guess. Tech world.
Yeah, tech world is just sweet, just.
It's a nice place, for,
Yeah.
Others guys, as you're joining, in case you want to join the live stream, like to become a guest, like to have a chat one-on-one with us, you can just click that link in the description bar and maybe send an invite, and I'm going to add you to the live stream in case you're willing to join.
For people that are live with us, if you're live, just say hi.
Yeah, let's know who is watching. And let's know where you're watching from. You're from Kenya, from US, from Uganda, Tanzania, Uganda, Nigeria.
If you move this side, I'll be out of the screen.
I'll be there getting headphones. Okay, it's okay. There's no worries, no problem. So, guess working online is the real deal at the moment in Kenya. Our government has not yet discovered that people are working online, so they have not yet need taxes for those working online.
How do you incorporate the issue to do with taxes? When someone is working online, it doesn't work. It cannot work. It can never work. It can never work. How?
Hakuna countries zinakuanga na nini online? Wana nini wangu online?
Then that means they'll have to do that everybody, anybody that is using social media. You understand? How do they get to a specific application that I've decided to make a website and decide to tax me? How?
Maybe they can't.
Doesn't
But
make
they can.
sense.
But they can. They can monitor. Like pesa inaingia kwa account yako.
How?
How?
How? Okay, they can do that, but do you really think they have that time to do all that?
Maybe they can work with the banks.
No. Do you know why it cannot work? It's because it's like I'm interacting with you via my WhatsApp, and I tell you I have this business. Can you become an affiliate in my business? You understand, right?
But what if they decide?
So once
To
you become
betray.
an affiliate in my business, and I'm getting money through that, me and you, how does the government come in? You getting my point?
I get your point.
What these guys are doing, they're just creating a website where we can interact directly as you work for me. You get it, huh? But how does the government come in between that? Unless they ban that website from Kenya, you understand? But it can never happen.
Making some
It's making sense, not some sense.
Some
It's making
sense.
sense.
some sense. So
But again, you know,
Mhm.
issues to do with the online works,
Mhm.
you will never convince everybody. There are those people that cannot just work online. Even if you tell them what, they just like getting employment and they're
Sure.
comfortable.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Even if it's online, you just have to continue.
Yeah.
And
It's
then-
not easy, especially in such countries like ours. It's never easy.
never easy.
You remember that time that the government decided to come up with Ajiri.com? Ajiri.
Mhm.
Do you know
Mhm.
that thing did not help so many Kenyans? It didn't. But there are a few people that were told earlier. And it was all about connections again, because now that is a Kenyan website managed by Kenyans who are employed by the government. We get it. It's like this job that you're doing when you're in campus. Yeah, elections, during the elections. You can imagine you're applying via online, but people already have connections.
Mhm.
You understand?
Corruption.
Corruption is everywhere, even online, in online jobs. So, a shitty country, by the way. Just a shitty country.
That is one of the reasons why
So
I
many
can
people
consider
going to the US.
going to the US. Especially
Because
if I have skills.
in the US, once you have a skill or you have a talent or you have that ability, you're given that opportunity. You get it.
Mhm. Hi, babe.
Hi,
Finally, umetujoin.
Betsy.
Umetujoin. Sasa, we're trying to figure out of employment opportunities in Kenya and
But
what can work
right
for
now,
us.
honestly, right now, I think in the coming years, let's say 10 or 15 years to come, let me give that approximation, 10 to 15 years. That is a good, that's a good duration. That's a good period. I think so many people will like programming will have taken all over the world. They have taken all over the world. Sindio? Like it's going to be the biggest deal. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So anybody that is doing programming is he or she has an upper hand. They have an upper hand. Yeah.
Regardless of the country you're in.
There's so many opportunities, so many jobs. I always see your emails every now and then.
Do you know?
Like everybody wants a program.
I applied for I registered in a certain site. Inaitwa Jeku Hustle. It's a Kenyan site. but people from everywhere, at a US, at
They're
a
just
wapi,
emailing
Kenya,
you.
they're always emailing me using the email wako nayo from the site. See
Yeah.
their direct email.
Yeah.
Lazima nilipie something ndo nini. Siwezi like interact nao vizuri bila kuwa email na email yao ya site. So everybody is always like, hi, I've seen your profile, and and at the moment I don't have skills, but they're always like, hi, I've seen your profile. I'd like you to work on my project, my app. I'd like you to add something on my app. I must do what. Imagine.
Yeah,
So
like you see when Beth is saying, it's technology at large. Sure.
True.
Technology at large.
Technology all the way. With it to went into programming.
Programming. LOL.
What's up? You can do programming.
Not that I cannot do it, but for me, I think it will take more of my time to get it.
Yeah.
So I don't think.
Just a moment. Let's add this is Africa. This is the first time I'm doing this. Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm the man behind This Is Africa. I'm been married to a Kenyan going on 15 years next month. And
wow.
Yeah, so I would say keep with your programming if that's what you're doing, whether if it's small scale or big scale. You could do that in a couple different ways. You could try to learn everything, but you're going to spend a lot of time doing that. Or you can learn one language or just a couple. And if you're going to do any language, I don't know what you're studying, but I would recommend one in particular because you can use it for building websites, as well as you can use the exact same language to build programs for machines. And that one language is called Python. Yeah. See, PHP, you can. Right. So like a language like PHP, it's a scripting language. It's not a programming language. You can only use it for websites. C++, you can only use it for machines. You can't use it for websites. You see what I'm saying? And so Python is, excuse me, it's not too much of a learning curve, but if you're consistent with it, in about 7 to 8 months, you can become really, really good with it. You know, really, really good. Now, if you're going to do the website part of it, you definitely want to get into your HTML and your CSS with Python, because that's going to be the presentation and structural software. Python is going to be the brains of that website. So if you understand what I mean by that. And then
I also agree to what Mulumi is saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so excuse me, I had some pizza, so my throat isn't very clear. You could take a website too with Python and have it interact with the machines if the machines are programmed with Python. So if you're going to get really deep into it, like I said, that's one language you could do all that with just one language.
Yeah.
So this is Africa. I've just realized that you have a lot of insights in terms of programming, and I had a lot of questions to ask. Okay. In terms of I've just realized that you've got a lot of insights in terms of programming. Are you in that field, or?
I used to be a web designer, and that's all I was. That's as far as I went. The reason why I got out of it is because if you're going to be into web design or what have you, you have to be in some degree of sales, because at the end of the day, if you're going to get a job, you got to make the sale, right? The problem with web design, the word design, and I recommend don't using it. Programming's better because you get business people coming to you. But when you say word design, you usually get individuals or small business people who might own like a coffee boutique, and they have these weird ideas about a website. It's like they come to you for the technical know-how. You ask them what they want. You never ask them how they want it designed. You ask them what they want. You're going to find a lot of times with those types of people, they have no idea what they want. And so what you have to do is basically say, okay, so your business is about coffee, this and that, right? So you make a website for them about coffee, how their customers can interact with them and through a website more than just coming into their store. And we're not talking
Yeah.
program. We're just talking about design at this point. A presentation, a brochure online is what we used to call it. Okay.
Mhm.
But you're going to find a lot of times you get done with the website with these folks, and then all of a sudden they don't like the color. They don't like the letters on the left. They want it on the right. They don't know what they want. So I got out of it because of a lot of situations like that.
Okay. Plus, it consumes a lot of your time and all that. Yeah, I get it.
Right. So basically, if you still want to make websites, though, it's still a good way to make money. That's something that's never going to stop. But I wouldn't call yourself a web designer. I would call yourself a web developer,
Yeah.
because you're developing websites, even if it's presentation, like just CSS and HTML. You're developing a website that's going to work for your customer in something that they need, not necessarily what they want, but what they need. And so there's a lot of programs and videos out there that could actually teach you kind of like not just the terminology, but how to approach building a website for somebody because they don't know what they want. You basically got to find out what they're doing, like I said before, and then you have to basically, in a way, kind of like, this is going to be your website. Not do you want it to be your website? This is going to be your website. And you need a commitment, and that commitment is money all up front, or at least 50% down. Never do the work, right? And even if they like it and they never pay you, you just did all that work for nothing. But at the same time, if somebody pays you, especially in full, you better do the work, because now your reputation is on the line.
Yeah.
And if you do a really good job and you're on time, because on time is very key, they will refer you to somebody else that might need it, that service. So you got to think about that, right?
Networking.
Right. It would be no different than boy, that pizza's really got me. It would be no different like in Kenya, and you got a great reputation as a taxi cab driver, right? And people love your conversation. You're really safe on the road, this and that, and plus you know the ins and outs of Nairobi. Somebody like that, a driver like that, is invaluable to other Kenyans. So so the smart cab driver will perform his job the way he's supposed to, that you'll be so impressed that hopefully he has a business card to give you so you can call him again.
Sure.
So you could apply that same logic to building websites or building programs for machines.
Yeah.
Right.
So basically, anything to do with how people is so important. Like that is what will sell you out there. And plus making sure that you put in the hard work. For instance, Beth Munui, she's also a programmer, and it has been working for her, right?
Yeah.
How many years right now?
I guess 3.
I guess 3 years. She's one of our friends, and yeah, it has been working so well for her, and she's been a great motivator to Wamboi's.
And a mentor too.
Yeah, she's a mentor too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just gonna say that's somebody you need to keep in your corner.
Yeah, I see Beth is asking, how do you measure workload with milestones? Guess that's a question for you.
Question's a little bit vague. Workload could be small to large, but what are the milestones that you're talking about? Like, can you give me one example? You know, because that's kind of a vague question. How do you budget for a project to know what to charge? Okay, that's a very common question on the last question. Okay. Forget charging by the hour. That's where a lot of web designers and programmers make a mistake, is charging by the hour is really a big mistake. There's reasons to charge by the hour, but it's not something you want to do on a regular basis, or most likely never. You want to charge by the job. Okay. So consultation. So what you definitely want, I haven't talked about this in a long time, but you definitely want to have a consultation with the client. First of all, you got to get yourself out there. Once you get somebody, consultation is definitely a key part. Once you find out exactly what you're going to do for the customer based on the customer needs, see, you can't let the customer tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like the cab client getting into the cab driver's car and then the client is trying to say, no, you got to put your foot on the gas pedal and the brake here and there. No, the cab driver already knows how to do that, right? All the client says, I want to go to the airport. That's basically all they're telling you. I want to go to the airport. So if I got somebody that owns a coffee boutique, okay, they got a coffee boutique. And maybe what they're going to tell me is I charge, okay, I got a menu of 10 items and these are the prices.
Mhm.
Okay. So what the customer is not going to tell me to do is how to make the website based on the information they gave me or
Mhm.
any information they gave me.
Yeah.
Okay. So based on that, let's say you can have some set prices for, I used to have set prices for small websites because that was the majority of my clients. A one-page website would be about $80 to $100. So 8,000 to 10,000 shillings, right? And I'd have a template already made up and I can just switch out the colors any way that I want. Then I had a rate for a 5-page website. That's going to be like, for example, your about page, your home page, your contact page, your services page, and then whatever else. That could be about $300 to $500. And it's something you could get done in a day, within a few hours, or some you could just like do an hour here and there and be done by the end of the week. Start Monday, be done by Friday, right? But you get paid all this, ahead of time. You don't ever do this for free because you'll find out that a lot of people now, oh, it's for free. They'll want to pay you in a couple different ways. A thank you, or how about some chips and soda? I'm not kidding you. I've had people offer me, I'll buy you a hamburger and a soda for a website that would cost $2,000. And I'm not joking. These are Americans doing that. So you have to watch out for that. So basically, when you do your consultation, you're very clear on, you're the professional, you're telling them what you're going to do for them after they've told you what their business is about. It's basically what their business is about. And the only other things you got to ask them is, if they're selling, if they're into sales, like selling coffee, you got to know the prices. If they want the price list up there or not, do they have to come in the store to get the price list? Do they have to call to get the price? Do they do delivery? Yes or no? All that type of stuff. You're going to build it for them. You're going to do the color combination. You're going to know all this stuff for them. And when you're done, you say, here's your website. It's ready to go.
So basically, in terms of programming, I had a question. Let's say, for example, I decide to venture into it. For me, I've not yet ventured into it, but I decide to venture into it, and I decide to commit myself to that. You know what? This is my next area of specialization and all that. So, if I put in the work, for how long am I supposed to take to be able to gauge myself as somebody that can get employment?
How much are you supposed to train yourself to be proficient? Is that what you're asking? That all depends. Another thing too, if you're just starting out, especially in programming, is that a lot of times, a lot of clients don't care if you got 6 months or 6 years, because they could look at 6 years based on past experience if they've had any bad experience. Okay, somebody will brag about 6 years and they have 6 years, but are they any good? The other thing too, you do have some people that say, oh, only 6 months. Well, that's not enough time. You have no experience under your belt. I think I want to go with somebody a little bit longer. Don't let that discourage you. What you do is you create little programs yourself, right, that actually work on something, right? Or it works for a website, like a Visa checkout on a product, like you'd buy on Amazon. Like you could create something like that, and you can have these little profile website that shows examples of what you can do, what you've done. And that can always be up there as a portfolio. As far as the time, you never want to stop. You're never going to stop learning. And if you take a break, right, you want to take that vacation, I recommend no longer than 30 days. And if you're going to be on a 30-day vacation, bring a laptop with you. Especially if you're going out of town, or even if you're at home, once a week, do an hour or something. So that way your mind's, fresh. So when you come back after that 30 days, you're like, man, I forgot this. Now I got to go reference this. I got to go reference that. Okay, what chapter in the book was this? I know this on the back of my head, but now I got to go look it up. You don't want to go through that. You always, and another thing, your training materials, once you're done learning everything, never get rid of those training materials. Keep them away in a box somewhere because they're invaluable. They are your reference if you forget. And once you read it again, it comes back to you just like that. Web design too is the same thing. I've taken breaks for like 2 or 3 months, and then I'm ready to get back into it because I feel like I want to do it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, how do I change the color of the background? Are you kidding me? That's so easy. And I don't remember. I'm just giving an example. But always keep your training materials. So, but if you're going to do it, first you have to be serious for yourself before you think about being serious for a client. You know what I mean?
So, Beth Manu is asking you, what professional skills have you picked along the way?
I am a professional in sales, but I realize for myself as an individual, I'm only a professional in things that I believe in. So, for example, one of the ways to make a lot of money in America, still to this day, is to sell cars. But selling cars is one of the most extremely stressful jobs. And believe it or not, in America, almost every car salesman is divorced. Okay, like no joke, it's really a stressful job. It ends up in divorce almost 100%. If a guy's married or gets married, he'll divorce later. But there's a lot of money. Another one is selling furniture. Selling furniture makes a whole lot of money. Not as much as cars, but you can get there pretty close. And that is not so stressful unless you make it stressful for yourself. But you have to be interested in it, right? Now, I was interested in a long time in electronics, computers, and all that other stuff. Customer to, business to customer, as well as business to business. I did both. So technology is the thing. But see, the thing about technology is that the commissions and the employers found a way that they can shrink the commissions to no commissions, and they pay you hourly, to where you got to be in with somebody like B&H Photo in New York, which most people are not going to move to New York to work for them. And they got like 1,000 employees, believe it or not, in that one little store, to make a good commission rate off their professionalism. Okay. However, I could take my professionalism and I could go to other countries, and I could get, like Elite Digital in Kenya. They sell the Apple products. Elite Digital Solutions, I think they're called. They're in Sarit Center.
I think I'm there.
You guys are not in Nairobi, are you?
No, we are in Nairobi.
You are in Nairobi. Okay. Well, they offered me a job, and they have stores throughout East Africa. So, but Kenya, of course, is their main position. But the owner in the Uganda Kampala store wanted me to work for him. And the only reason he wanted me to work for him is two. Is one, I got the experience in electronic sales, plus I'm very knowledgeable about Apple products. And third, of course, which is always a caveat, is that I was from the States. And then probably fourth, because I'm Mzungu. That's probably what it was. Because maybe they got some Mzungu customers that come in, and because most of the people like in Kenya and Uganda, they're going to be able to afford Apple products because they're so expensive, is people in the media industry. So you think about who's in the media industry. It's all the news agencies, right?
Yeah.
Plus the occasional individual that's probably coming to Nairobi or Kampala to work at a recording studio, so they need a laptop or something like that. And they're going to go to the closest place that's authorized to sell those products. So they might want somebody like me just to be like, what's the word for it? Not multicultural, but have diversity within the workplace, because you have a diverse customer base, right? So that's probably why that would be the fourth reason why they wanted me to work there. But I'm not going to move to Uganda. So yeah. So that's one of the things. I'd have to say that I'm into production, like managing people. So that'll be another professional skill that I picked up. But for me, I don't like managing people. You got to be kind of mean, because in America, no matter what you hear people say, managing people is not a very good opportunity to be very friendly, because they say you don't come to work to be friendly, you come to do a job. Well, that's true, but at the same time, you don't have to be mean to people. But however, you also have a very mean in America. This is just American society. You have a very mean employee base, not just employer base. Okay, but somewhere in Kenya, there's a lot more flexibility. There's, you know, okay, I already know that there's employers that don't treat their employees well, but in compared to the United States, we're talking attitude, personalities, and stuff like that. There's no comparison. So if you're into managing people and you have that skill, you could take that skill everywhere, anywhere in the world. You got right now Chinese manufacturers for the past 20 years now, believe it or not, they're actually hiring Americans, Europeans, and other people from other parts of Asia to work because they can't find enough Chinese workers to do the job.
Okay. Yeah.
Majority of the pilots in China right now, because they have a shortage of pilots, are American pilots. Why American pilots? Well, because America has more pilots. 2, they're more highly skilled because the pilot schools are better in America. And 3 is that in America, pilots are getting paid peanuts now. They've been getting paid peanuts for like 15 years. In China, they're paying top dollar. So check this out. Some pilots in China are getting paid like American long-term pilots, even in the military, that went from military to commercial in the U.S. They're getting paid like $20,000 a month, U.S. dollars, in China, where they barely got paid that much in a year in America doing the same job.
Okay.
Actually, some of the pilots do get paid that low of pay. So,
and I guess that's the same thing that is happening when it comes to employment in Kenya and US, and that's why most of the people opt to move to US.
Yeah.
Because payment in US is a bit high compared to Kenya.
Okay, that's true. However, America is very expensive. That's what most people around the world don't take into account. And the UK is even much worse than America, and America is pretty bad. So basically, your average rent in most big cities in America right now for like a 1-bedroom apartment is like 150,000 shillings a month for a 1-bedroom. So if you only make barely over that a month, what do you have for food, transportation, clothes if you need clothes? I mean, your transportation is going to be public transportation, and you might not be able to afford it. So what a lot of Americans are doing is they're homeless, but they're keeping their jobs. It's not really a choice to be homeless. It's just that they can't afford a place, or they have to have 1, 2, maybe 3 roommates in a 1-bedroom apartment just so they can survive. Okay. So what we don't have here in America is we don't have a high standard for the people who have to survive. We have a very low standard. What we have high standards is we have a lot of property owners that there's no laws set in place. What we used to have, what was called rent control. So basically, if the minimum wage per month in America, let's say, is $1,500, 150,000 shillings, right? Well, legally, the owners of these apartment buildings can raise it up just under what you make a month. And every time the minimum wage goes up, these renters raise theirs up because it's like they don't want you to save any bit of money for your own future. So you either got to have 2 jobs, right? Or you got to be having that one great job that if you ain't married or anything, you're putting a lot of that money away that you earn. You pay all your expensive bills.
But having more than one job is, I think for me, it's quite difficult.
It is difficult.
Yeah, because I can't imagine working here again, leaving this place, going to another place for another occupation. For me, that's too difficult. That's why I was telling Wambui Peters that, you know what, yes, going to the US will be a great opportunity. But you see, when you compare the livelihood that Americans are in terms of economic, all that, it's quite expensive and all that. So living in Kenya is a bit easier.
Well, here's the thing. And being a couple, it can either be harder for you two, or it could be easier for you two if you came to America. And I would choose America over the UK just because you actually have more opportunity to save some money. What I would do if you do decide to come to America is have a 10-year plan. Now, are you two married right now?
Not yet.
Not legally.
Okay.
Not legally married.
Okay. Okay. It's going to be an advantage if you two get married prior. But the other thing too is, would you be able to abstain from having kids if you're in America for 10 years? Would that be something culturally unacceptable or in your own culture, or would you accept it in order to save money?
Well,
See, the eyes are rolling right now. That's something to think about.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something to think about.
Yeah.
okay.
You wanted me to give you an example why I'm asking that question?
Mm.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I've met a lot of Africans, not just Kenyans, but a lot of Africans and people from other countries. They'll come to the U.S. and they'll start doing as the Romans do. They'll start doing what Americans do. They'll get on credit. They'll borrow money that they don't have. They can't pay it off. They may even have a good job, graduated and had a good job, right? They got too far into debt. They bought one or two houses, and you don't own the homes, but they're still on the mortgage. Then they get married, or they're already married.
Mhm.
Then they have kids. They had the 10-year plan. And what happens is, especially with the kids, that's the biggest bill. They don't have any money to fly back home. They have no money saved. They have no money for Kenya. So now they're stuck in America where they're miserable. They got to wait for the kids to be 18, and then they're old. So it's definitely a big stressor. The only other thing I could recommend if you stick to a 10-year plan and you want to have kids is probably have kids in your last 2 years. Like have 1 or 2 kids within the last 2 years, but have that first 8 years of working, saving money. Because at the end of the day, you and your kids and everything, when you come back, you'll be much happier, I guarantee you. And never do what Americans do. Don't borrow. Don't get any loans. Just earn your money and save it. Because there's always compounded interest when you do that.
Yeah. That's a great insight, by the way.
And I think that's where online employment
Comes in, huh?
comes in, especially when you're in Kenya. It's a bit beneficial, right?
Yeah, it's
Because you can work from from Kenya, but working abroad, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So you get paid the same amount of money
that should have been paid if you're in the US.
Yeah.
So
Well, not all the
become-
time. Not all the time, but there are a lot of jobs you can get paid the same. Yes, but let's just say this: like in Embakasi, where me and my wife live, we have a studio apartment, studio flat. We're paying 11,000 shillings for. 11,000 shillings won't even get you a doghouse in America. It'll get you a tent you can buy in a store. Then you find a place outside and build your tent, and that's your 11,000 shillings a month. Is basically that right there. So what you could do is you could be where you're at right now, and it may be expensive now with what you make there when you're working. But once you start making even the lower incomes of what you can get, what you're making in the U.S., it's going to probably seem like double or triple there, right? So like minimum wage, we get paid by the hour here. It's not salary. There are salary jobs, but minimum wage is by hour in America. So I think minimum wage, if I can remember, is like $12 an hour. So we're talking 1,200 shillings an hour. Think about that. 8-hour day. How much is that going to be for you in Kenya, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that would be on the low. That would be on the low side. But there's even some states, because we have 50 states over here, that their minimum wage is like $9, so 9,000 shillings. But still, if you take 9,000 shillings per hour, 8-hour day in Kenya, how far is that going to get you? And then think of that for the whole month. That's going to be some okay money.
Yeah, that's a good
Right.
amount of money. A good amount of money.
Right. So with this online stuff, and especially with your sister over there doing her YouTube channel, these are real solutions that could be the solutions to some of your financial problems for a lot of people, because not everybody that wants to learn Swahili is from America. They're from a lot of different countries. And then you have a lot more people, of course, that are wanting to learn English. You two already speak English. You don't have to speak the Queen's English. Americans definitely don't speak the perfect English. And a lot of Americans are being hired just for their accent, but they're also hiring other people that just have different variants of English. And in Kenya is one of many different variants. So therefore, you're more closer to the Queen's English than Americans are. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've heard so many times the way that how we speak our English is better compared to the Americans.
Right, right. And with that, you actually have an advantage. And just remember, when you check out her channel in which she's investigated on, and you're going to find more than one way. So if you start using Italki, and that's one stream of income, and you like it, right? Then you look at something else she's done, or somebody else has done, like on Fiverr.com. Let's say you want to do you said you're into PR. Maybe they need somebody to write a proposal with PR solutions. You could probably put that up on some place like Fiverr, where somebody will say, oh, there's a PR person in Kenya. This is their rate. Wow, I'm going to save like 50% compared to somebody in America. They hire you for that job. Now that's a second stream of income. Got Italki is one, Fiverr.com is two, and then what else can you do for 3, 4, 5? You see what I'm saying? Where I'm going with this? Then when you start making money, you can upgrade your, because I don't know if you guys are just using purely data or Safaricom fiber, but if you're using just data, you can go up to fiber, right? Because you'll be able to afford it. And then you can start looking for more gigs. And if you really get serious with YouTube and generate, like a good fan base and people like you and come to YouTube, that could be another source of income. You see what I'm saying? YouTube usually takes for most people a little bit longer, but still it's another avenue for another source of income. Yeah. And then when you have all that money coming in, then you can think of things like buying property. And let's say you wanted to have a piggery or a chicken farm or whatever, and you already have all that knowledge of what it takes to make a successful one from the very start. From all the money you did online, you can have that money generate, and then that'll be another stream of income. But that'll be a physical income, but still it's another stream of income. You got to look at different ways of making money, because in America, we got this thing now where you can't depend on a job no more than 5 years, and 5 years is even lucky, because most jobs here nowadays, they don't want you to retire because they have to pay a retirement to that employee if they retire. So they usually find a way to get rid of you within 5 years or less. Okay. Some jobs are smart, like especially like big tech jobs where they actually make products. They'll keep their employees because then it's hard to find people skilled for those jobs. But other high skilled types of skills for certain types of jobs, there's like a dime a dozen, they can get anybody. So what I want to, go ahead.
So basically, what I am trying to get from you is that you don't really have to go to the US to get that perfect salary or that perfect job. It all depends on your strategy. What is your strategy in life? What are you looking forward to? What do you want? And just going in the hardest way, and that's it.
And being smart.
Just smart. Yeah.
Right. Now, there's a guy in Uganda who's a medical doctor, and I don't know if he's joking. I haven't seen the video yet, but he says, I'm going to quit working as a doctor in this little town in Uganda, right? He doesn't live in Kampala. Okay. But he's a YouTuber called Farm Up. Farm Up, 2 words, Farm Up. Yeah. He has a big chicken farm. Huge.
Yeah.
And he keeps expanding on it, but he's making so much more money doing that as a doctor. He made a comment or a title that I'm quitting being a doctor because he makes more money doing this.
Yeah.
And if you watch his videos, like a lot of them from the beginning to now, it makes a whole lot of sense. Everything he's telling you is the truth because he's showing real life examples of how he runs that business.
Yeah.
And he's getting a lot of calls from a lot of people on like, how do you do this? Right? Where did you even start? You know what I mean? So I could tell you right now that if you had a chicken farm like he does, you're going to make all kinds of money, whether if it's in Uganda or Kenya. You know how people love chicken. And if you do it the way he does, he saves a lot of money in the process. But in order unless you're like a PewDiePie on YouTube where you're making 6-7 figure incomes a year, most people are not going to make it to his level. But you could still make a good income, like say Miss Trudy, right? But even what Miss Trudy makes, she makes nothing compared to this guy in Uganda.
True.
Very true.
Very true. Even the kind of content that he provides is yeah.
And he has 3 streams of income. So if he quits his doctor practice, he still has 2. He has YouTube and he has the farm. You see what I'm saying? He's got more than one stream of income. Makes sense. And he enjoys his YouTube channel. You know?
So much.
Yeah.
Really saw that the best way to make it in life, you have to have like 7 hustles, 7 businesses.
To be able to reach a point where you become a millionaire, maybe just getting that good amount of money. You need to be like, you won't depend on one job. It won't help you. But you see now we're living in a country where not so many people are ready to get that awareness. Plus, only the few are ready to learn and all that. But we're living in a country where nobody is ready to listen. Plus, our type of the kind of education that you get, like it doesn't allow you to get out there and look for a job. It's all about working so hard, getting that grade A and all that, and then after that, making sure that after your graduation, you go there, get an employment, and that's it. You understand? And the incomes are very, very, very low.
Right.
They cannot sustain you. Even just getting that one bedroom, it's difficult for so many people, and they're in the government sector and all that. It's very, very difficult. So,
and very, 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 very few people want to take risk.
Very few people.
Very few people.
Very few people.
They prefer getting employed.
Yeah.
Where they'll not lose anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Where they get and all that. Yeah.
You know Arena TL? I think it was Arena TL in Uganda.
Yeah. I know her.
Okay. Yeah, it was Arena TL. I watched a video of hers the other day, and she did a vlog of a lady who, I think she was making some type of bread or something, right? So this lady goes to the market, I think like 2 or 3 days a week in her town. It's not Kampala, but it's somewhere in her area. And the way she said it is that Arena was saying that the market, almost everybody gets there and opens up at 9 o'clock in the morning, right? School starts at 8 o'clock for kids, right? And she says that everybody's selling the exact same thing in that market, right? There's a lot of rights. Let's wait till the wrong comes in. Then she said the woman that she was vlogging with, 2 days out of the week, I think it was, she makes this bread or this other stuff, shea butter or whatever. And the other day she's at the market from what she made from the other days, right? But she gets at the market at 6 in the morning. Why is she the only one there at 6 in the morning? Because the kids get up around 6, 7 in the morning and are on their way to school because they have to be there by 8, and they pass through the market. Nobody's open. And then she gets to sell the same stuff that they sell to the kids. And then the rest of the day, it's just business as usual. So all those people are sleeping. She's awake. So she found a way to make some extra money in her market. And that's just getting up like 3 hours earlier.
Being smart.
Yeah.
Being smart.
Now here's something that Mike Tyson used to do when he trained, and how he's so good. And it was this trainer that had him do it. So Mike Tyson set his clock every morning for I think it was 5 o'clock in the morning. And the first thing he does every morning was to run. And I think he did like 4K every morning or something like that. It didn't matter if it was hot outside because in America, a certain time of the year, the sun comes out like that early. It didn't matter if it was hot, wet, or icy cold in the snow, he would go out and run. Because maybe his competitors that he's going to box in a couple months will wake up at 6 and go running. But if it's raining, they're like, I'll just work out in the gym later. I'll forget the run, because the running is the most important thing, right? So he says, I'm doing what they don't do. This is Mike Tyson talking. I'm doing what they don't do, and that's why I'm successful, and that's why they're not as successful. So that's the determination that he learned from his trainer that made him be where he is today, or what we have seen him do. So, because he used to get his butt kicked all the time until he got trained properly. He always had a strong punch, but he didn't know how to use it.
Yeah, it's all about pushing yourself to the limits.
Right.
And being different, outstanding, you know.
Yeah.
And being smart generally.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why I said the future is over there. Like right now, me being in America, I have a little bit of advantage with me and my wife. It took a while for my wife to understand that running a business is something more serious than just making a low income to pay the rent every month. Took her some years to figure that out. Now she understands it. So now we're at a point where we're not necessarily starting all over again, but we just purchased our final payment of a hair salon in Embakasi. Right. During the beginning of our marriage, I sent her to 2 different beauty schools, one in Nanyuki, one in Nairobi. And for a long time, she didn't want to do that because she said there was too much competition for it. Now that she has a salon, we're not making a whole lot of money right now, but she realized that was a mistake. Because really people are coming there based off not just your availability, but your personality, your skill, and all that other stuff, right? So with her business now, what she's realized is that she's diversifying, like different streams of income. So what can she bring into that one business? Well, now she sells sandals outside. She purchases what was it? 10,000 shillings worth of sandals that she'll sell probably within a week, and then she'll for double, and she'll save half of that and put the other half in the bank. Then women come in to want to get their nails done, so they had to wait a long time for it to air dry, like 2 or 3 hours. She was telling me she bought this little tiny machine, and it didn't cost that much, but I was able to send the money. Now they're getting their nails dried, I think, in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And they got one machine. Now she's thinking about adding 2 more of them because she's getting more women asking for it, right? So she's finding, okay, you could say it's one stream of income, but she's actually adding different streams of income or speeding up the streams of income that's already there by buying different equipment.
That's
See what I'm saying?
Smart.
Yeah. So and who knows? Maybe she'll start selling M-Pesa data out of there. I don't know. Yeah, we all know what's in Kenya, man. We see different types of businesses selling M-Pesa everywhere. So, and M-Pesa, there you can make some good money. I've seen that. I've actually looked at some of the stats on that. You can make some really good money. Yeah. So that's why I say the green. That's the place to be, because in America, you can get jobs, but if you try to start a business, most likely it'll fail. Where in Kenya, it's hard to get jobs, but if you find the need of the people that need your services, you can start a business easier, for one, and 2, keep it.
Yeah,
it's a lot easier in Kenya than it is here. Trust me.
Making a lot of sense.
So thank you so much for the insights.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The conversation has been amazing, and we've learned a lot. You're just an amazing person. At least for the first time we've managed to see you face to face, and we thank you so much. Plus the support that you've always given Omoi.
I really appreciate it.
Right. And now you know firsthand. I don't know if you heard the rumors in 2019. This is Africa as the ghost of YouTube. Well, I don't look like a ghost. You can see me. I'm here in the flesh. So, or the faceless YouTuber. But Yeah, it was funny. 2019 was funny, but
Yeah.
yeah,
remember.
I want you guys to succeed. Yeah.
I don't know who and who. I
What was
remember
that?
the story.
Oh, yeah. And me and one other particular YouTuber kind of were going head to head with each other.
We used to ask ourselves, so who is this Africa and all that?
The anonymous.
Yeah, but thanks a lot. We appreciate a lot. And yeah, we're just happy to also see that you're also progressing from your end, plus
Mhm.
with your wife doing her business and all that. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's inspirational too, just listening to you. Plus the fact that you have made us understand that you know what, you don't need to be in the US to make good amounts of money.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is something that I've been telling Wambui too. Like, you know what, it's all about just being patient with what you're doing. As long as you're smart, consistent, and all that, it will
Mhm.
work out for you. Plus, I know there are so many people that are living in the US
Mhm.
that would wish that we who are living in Africa will just
Mhm.
work so hard and create these big empires for ourselves. Because for them, they work so hard, but they enjoy a little bit of that because they
Mhm.
have to showcase in Africa what they have been doing while in the US.
Mhm.
So you find they rarely live that satisfying life. But at the
Right.
end of the day, when they come back to Africa, they have that good amount of money and all that. But you see, it's never easy. Nothing comes easy. Nothing comes.
Right. But if you want to live a lot less stress of a life, you'll want to stay in Kenya. I
Yeah.
guarantee you. But if you really want to make a commitment and get experience, but don't stay for a lifetime or don't get stuck, come to America with a 10-year plan and really think about when you should have kids and when you build. If you do have kids in America, plan it to a time where you can afford everybody to come back home, because that's going to be the number one thing that would stop you, is that you can't afford to come home,
Yeah,
and you
true.
definitely don't want to be in that situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've it's been a long journey for me and my wife. I'm surprised that we're still together, but I kind of knew that we would. She's a Meru, so I knew I got the 10-year guarantee, and it's been almost 15 years. So y'all know about that story, the 10 years. Yeah, if you marry a Meru woman, you're guaranteed 10 years.
Only.
So, well, in American standards, that's pretty good. Because if you get married here, it's usually divorce within 5 years or less. So, yeah,
Yeah, true. Yeah.
I want
So,
to visit her maybe and promote her business, do my nails, you know.
yeah, yeah,
Maybe you'll give me the directions of where she is, and maybe I'll visit her and maybe
Mhm.
promote her business. The
She's
same way I promote mine.
well, since we just got the paperwork finalized, she's changing the sign. I think she's redoing like the leather work on some seats or something like that. And when she gets all that down, then she's going to send me some photos I can share, because it's in Imakasi where we live, in a building called Tel Aviv. And I know I've seen the building, but I just can't think of where Tel Aviv is. But I think it's on, if I'm right, I think it's on North Mombasa Road, close to the where Taj Mahal used to be.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bus stop. It's like in walking distance from there. Yeah. So
As soon as everything is okay, we're gonna visit and promote her.
Yeah.
I was
okay.
actually planning to move to those sides, Mombasa Road.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're planning
so
to at least get another house. You know.
a bigger house. So I'm to be a customer.
We live in Feta Estate, and our
Uh-huh.
studio is nice, 11,000, and we looked it up on Jumia, because Jumia, I don't know if you know, they have rentals on there that you can look at.
I've never known that way, and I'm in Kenya.
Yeah. So check out Jumia. A lot of photos taken on individual places. But I like Feta better than any other part of Imakasi. You know, if you're not going to live in that big estate, I forget, it's behind us. They got like 24-hour security and walls and all that other stuff. Swimming pools,
Yeah.
gym. Nio Estate or something like that. But
It's
Nio.
actually, yeah,
Yeah.
my estate.
it's just down the street from us. So, but yeah, if you live in that area, it's fine. You're not on the main road, which is outer ring, so you don't get all that noise. You're just right behind the main buildings.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, she's been
Yes.
telling me so much about your estate. So we're planning to visit that place.
We're planning to visit that place. Maybe go look for a house there.
hmm
Maybe move. Yeah.
Okay, so when I finally move back over there for good, and y'all move in that area, hit me up. We'll all go down the street to those places. I think it's Caribbean something. We all get some Namachoma and just chill out. I don't drink beer, so if you all
Yeah.
drink beer, you'll see me with the Coca-Cola or something. But
Catch up and everything.
Namashima is a real deal.
In Kenya,
Yeah.
especially in Kenya.
yeah.
So how do you
Right.
manage? Okay. How do you manage to like okay, how can I ask? How do you manage to like okay, relate, okay, stay together with your wife? Okay, long distance.
Considering
Let's say
the
long distance
distance.
relationship. How do you manage the long distance relationship thing?
Well, first of all, you got to have self-conviction. My self-conviction, very first thing was, divorce is, what do you call it? How did I put it? I used to say it to myself all the time. Divorce is not an option.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay. And so how do you make that a reality? Well, first of all, America was not an option for marriage, right?
Mhm.
The UK is not an option for marriage. A lot of places around the world, it's not an option for marriage. So if divorce is not an option, where in the world do they have a very extremely low divorce rate? Well, there's a couple places, but the only place that's really high in percentage is Africa.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter what the reason why they're sticking together as married couples, but just that fact alone tells me, okay, there's something within the cultures there that's succeeding where other places that are so-called first world, they're failing. And so that I wanted an African wife. So I looked in Africa to find a wife. And so because what was going on in Africa matched my own personal values. And if I can't find a woman from a place that has those same types of personal values, doesn't mean that everything we're going to agree on in the marriage. I mean, there's plenty of things. She won't let me wash the dishes because she thinks it's a woman's job in the marriage. So okay, so I can't argue with her. But anyway, divorce is not an option. It's not an option for her. It's not an option for me. So we work on it. Now, if long distance relationship isn't for somebody, I don't recommend it anyway. But if you have to do it, you better find somebody that has the same values as you. That divorce is not an option.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And it's tough, but we both learned to live with it, you know. And at the same time, now that she realizes certain things that we should have took care of years ago, as well as myself, we're working on that now. So I'll be there sooner than you know it. And then eventually I'll be releasing my U.S. citizenship, because as a U.S. citizen with dual citizenship, I still have to pay 30% tax, I think it is, in Kenya, whatever the legal status is there. Plus, even if you don't work in the U.S., you work 100% in Kenya for a Kenyan company or your own business, you have to take 30% of your income on top of that and give it to the U.S. So you're paying 60% of your income. That's like living in the UK.
Yeah,
Why do that? Right?
That's hard. That's hard.
So renouncing my citizenship is one of the main things that I have to do once I'm in Kenya permanently.
Okay.
Because I'm not gonna sit there and I don't need to come back to the U.S. anyway. That's my views. But why work so hard and give all that money away to a government to where you'll never see the benefit of it?
True.
It's not, because that 30% is not going to go to fixing roads in Kenya.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's not going to hire an electrician in Kenya to fix the wires up on a telephone pole. So I want all my taxes, if there's any taxes, to be spent in Kenya.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
So what would I be giving up in America? I'll be giving up a passport that's easier to get in and out of a lot of different countries, whether if I have to pay for a visa or not. But outside of stuff like that, there's not to be honest with you, there's not that many advantages, no matter what people tell you.
Mhm.
There are some advantages, but every place has its advantage and disadvantage. There's advantages in Kenya that you don't have in the US.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true.
So you just got to weigh your options. Like seriously.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear.
So
Yeah,
that's how we manage, Peters. That's how we manage. Is we just, it's not an option.
Yeah.
So
But you just have to keep pushing hard. Yeah. You
oh, we
know,
stopped pushing. We stopped
actually,
pushing hard. We stopped pushing hard, young brother. We stopped pushing hard. We used to push hard all the time. We used to have those
Yeah.
conversations. Trust me. Like, what are we gonna do if we don't see each other for 18 months? Are we gonna
Yeah.
start thinking this way, that way? Are we gonna get bored? We don't push hard anymore. We've gotten past that point. Yeah, like really. And yeah, we still love each other, and we ain't got no kids yet, but that we're not letting that stop us. Yeah.
Yeah.
And trust me, she's gotten the pressure from the women in her family about not having kids. And yeah, and I've heard all this, all the back talk, the backbiting. I've heard it all. So
As long as you two understand each other,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's what matters more.
Mhm.
So you don't need to have that pressure. Yeah, it all happens everywhere. Yeah, so that's life.
Mhm. One of the ironic things about our marriage is that she's got 3 brothers. She's the only girl in the family. Is that one of her 3 brothers ended up being my best friend.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
So that's an extra adage, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Additive bonus to our marriage. But yeah, and her grandfather is one of the oldest living people in the world. I thought he was in his 80s when I met him, or he was in his 80s lately, but found out he's like 103. And
Oh.
she didn't even know that. She found that out like not even a year ago. She thought he was much younger. Yeah, so I don't know about you guys, but I have to get going. It was great talking with you guys. Maybe we could do this again.
Yeah, from my side it's 12:52 a.m.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So you got to go to work in the morning?
Not really. We work from home, but for me, for me, I love to go to the gym at around 6 a.m.
Mhm.
I'm supposed to be in the gym by 6:30. And then start my day. It's Monday morning and all that. You need to start at a high note. Basically
Okay.
that.
Well, whenever I get back to Nairobi, maybe we can all have like a meetup on KICC or something, like a get together or something.
Yeah, plus
that's
maybe we'll have shifted to Embakasi. It's one of our options, but you're still weighing. Yeah, maybe once you get the place, you look at the houses that you are looking for. If it's based on what you're looking for, then yeah, that's it. And we'll be your neighbor.
Okay. Look up Jumia, Feta Estate, all that area. Just don't go in the pipeline. Pipeline is just too crowded. There's even some places in the pipeline that's nice once you're inside them. But I would say no, because me and her used to live in the pipeline. I would say no to the pipeline. There's plenty of places outside the pipeline. I know the temptation of saving money, but I would just say no to it. It's just too crowded.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
It's okay. So nice having you.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you for having me.
And the insights and everything. Like, it's been awesome.
Especially your support. Yeah.
Yeah. It has
We
always
don't
been
take
awesome.
it for granted. And yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I hope to see you on
our next live. We hope we'll see you in our next live video.
Okay, well, keep doing what you're doing. Get monetized, at least on YouTube anyway. If you get monetized, just periodically make a video so you're not demonetized, okay?
Yeah.
You don't want to have to start all over, okay?
Yeah.
She has to keep pushing.
Well, you don't. One quick thing about that, you don't have to stress yourself over YouTube, especially if you ain't already making money. Why stress yourself? but just do enough that makes you happy. Think about what you like to do, and take it step by step. But don't allow yourself to go 6 months without a video and get demonetized because of it, because that's what's going to happen. And then plus people forget. So you want to be out there a little bit. Yeah. Okay. So for the day that you do take it serious, and you're going to be like, I'm Wambui Peters. I'm going to do the spin like Miss Trudy. Check out this car. You know what I mean? Get those types of numbers. It's like, okay, at that point you take it all serious, and then at that point there's your other stream of income. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We appreciate it, and have a nice time. See you on our next live, or make sure that on our next upload you are the first people to watch, and we'll appreciate it so much.
You're welcome, and thank you. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. And I think you're gonna end the live stream here, right?
Yeah.
We go to awesome.
Yeah, at least you've heard from someone who understands it. Yeah. That's what I wanted you to listen to Jama. But at least you listen to that and all that. Yeah. So guys, if you're still live on our video, we have zero people that have joined us. Thank you so much for the 0 people. We appreciate it, and blessed up. Good night.
No, not like I guess we get it. Otherwise, thank you guys for joining. We love you very, 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 very much. See you on our next video. Peace.